Yeah, give Rutgers all the credit. They deserve to win. Played much harder, much more focused than we did. Um, give them all the credit. We did some things well enough to fight back into the game and felt good about things at half and had a couple of small leads and I thought we did a much better job on the glass after the first 6 minutes. End up with 18 offensive rebounds in a game that we were awful in the first 6 minutes, 7 minutes. But give them credit. We got a few stops late. Couldn't get a defensive rebound, and very very thin once Tommy went down and in foul trouble. Dylan had a nice night. We've got to get to a point where you understand you're not going to win on the road, putting the team on the line 34 times and then turning it over as many times as we turned it over in the first, especially in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Brad, knowing where you guys are both at on the season rebounding wise, how disappointing is it that it was essentially an even battle on the glass?
Yeah, it stinks. It's awful. It's awful. This shows where our effort was tonight. I mean, it was I don't know 10-2 at one time or something, 12-4. It was never even close early. We shot shots the first 6 minutes of the game and never went. And Merez had 9 at half. It was Kylan, and then when Tommy goes down and rolls his ankle, and then there was really nobody left to get a rebound, and they made all the hustle plays, and really disappointing when you're one of the top rebounding teams in the country, if not the top rebounding team, and I don't know where we're at going in, but it just shows the hustle.
There's a shift offensively in the second half, fewer threes. Was that a choice, or was that something that you saw from Rutgers?
Called Will Riley. I mean, they had no size. I mean, their front court's very, very thin. Impacted us with Tommy going down because you saw we were posting Tommy a good deal, and that was the nice flow of the game. They go really, really small. They don't have much up front in terms of size and, beyond Lathan. But, we just couldn't take advantage of it. And we got to the rim a few times, and then we missed some opportunities. But part of that is their defense.
Coach, yesterday you talked about the energy of Jersey Mike's Arena. Just talk about how the energy played an impact in tonight's game.
Oh, it didn't. I mean, it's a good environment. I've been in here many years where it was much better than that. I thought that, we go play, other than a few of the fans, behind us that were screaming. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that, say nice things to me. But it's just it doesn't have anything to do with the impact of the game. For the most part, comes and goes.
Brad, what's been your evaluation of KJ? Do you feel like this is a freshman wall? I know you said yesterday you feel like he's 100% physically. Do you still stand on that as far as he's good?
He's 100%. He's top of the scouting report, and he's going through a moment, and everybody goes through it, and he's got to keep fighting his way out of it. We're going to keep supporting him. He's one of the best players in the country, and he'll be fine. He'll get his opportunities.
Coach, against Ohio State, you really changed your approach in the second half of that game, and you drove and you drove and you drove. And I thought tonight maybe we'd see the same thing, but not as much as we did against Ohio State. Any special reason for that?
Give them credit. They're much bigger on the perimeter. They did a nice job. It was it was a little more of the second half trying to go to the paint a little bit, but I thought they did a good job. We turned it over so many times the first half that, and especially early. But yeah, give them a lot of credit.
Talk about KJ going through a moment. Will seems to have maybe cleared his moment. And just what have you liked about what he's been able to maybe stack in multiple games?
Yeah, he's really, really talented. And for a good while tonight was one of the best players on the court, if not the best player on the court. And he can really get that thing going, and we can ride that, and we've got to keep him going and get the other guys moving in that direction as well, and get them out of their laps.
Brad, did you anticipate Dylan Harper would play, and when he did, how much did that change what you guys had to do defensively and what they could do offensively?
Yeah, we go in always expecting. It was no surprise from that standpoint. I thought that we might see a little more of Acuff because he was coming off a pretty good game, but obviously Dylan's their guy and they're riding with that. But I thought we fought him in the first half, and then I thought the second half he did a nice job of especially getting fouled.
Back there, and then this will be our last one after these two.
Coach, I know it boils down to a loss at the end of the day, but looking big picture, the ability to come back from down 17 from that slow start early, what positives can you take in terms of the resiliency of this team going forward? Yeah, a lot of those. And that's who we've been. We've been a team with a ton of spurts. Our last game against Ohio State, I think we had 2 or 3 10-0 spurts. We ended the game on a 15-0 spurt. We've got to quit making defensive mistakes, and we made so many of them tonight that it was just mind-numbing to me because that's been our bread and butter. We've been a top 15 defense all year, and tonight the mistakes we made on shooters and the fouls, those are things we have not done. So it's nice to see that, but again, against a good team, you can't commit fouls. We committed ridiculous amount of fouls, and that's part of playing good defense. So our spurt ability is good when we don't turn it over, and our mental focus has got to be better so we don't foul.
Coach, I know he didn't have huge numbers tonight, but more as throughout the season, I've been absolutely impressed with his energy and fight. Could you talk about his development a little bit?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's been one of the best freshmen in the country. He's been one of the best ones in the league. He's had a double-double in the first half the other night. Unfortunately, he has fought foul trouble. And that's one of the things we got to help him with. I was a little concerned tonight because he picked up one early, and we had to play without him at Nebraska because he picked up a second right behind it. So I subbed him early, and that's just one of the things that we've got to continue to help him grow with. But he's been dominant on both ends at times. So we're excited about him and his future.